Hi guys, it's Louise and welcome to this week's vlog. Just to update you quickly on what I did yesterday when I didn't film is I printed out my first chapter and a half, which is amounting to 5,000 words. I went through some beta feedback that I got about a month ago and I've sort of worked it into the chapters, and then I've edited it through so that it reads nicely and I'm quite happy with it. I'm not going to send it off to right now just yet because I want to make sure that it's completely perfected, at least as much as I can, before the 27th of August. And also I'm just putting it away for probably a week because I want to come back to it with fresh eyes and have that one final look over. So I'm not going to think about that anymore right now. But I am moving on with the drafting, so I'm working on chapter 6 or chapter 7 right now, I can't remember which. But I've been getting into my stride a little bit more. The first few days of this month were really bad for writing. But on Friday I wrote 1,000 words, and then yesterday I wrote 1,500 words. I'd really like to try and match that again today, but I am at work for a bit, so I'm not sure how the time is going to go. But I'll get back to you when I'm home. I'm up to 300 words for the day so far, and it is currently 8 o'clock, so I've still got a lot of time. But what I'm having a lot of fun doing at the minute is, because it is a sort of retelling sequel type thing, I'm having a lot of fun introducing characters that were in the original into my story and kind of showing how they're different in mine versus the original. It's a lot of fun to play with. If you know anything about me at all, then you will know I love wearing jumpers. It's my favourite type of thing to wear, and in the summer I have to wear t-shirts and it's not my favourite thing. I mean, I don't mind wearing them, but I much prefer just being comfortable and just having something really soft on. And today it's really overcast and I think it might actually be cold enough for me to wear this. So that's just a little thing that's made me quite happy today. Also, I have adopted 2 children, because my mum and my sister are away this week, so or 3 children, because my mum and sister are away this week, and I am taking care of the rabbits and also the hamster. So that's another thing to add to my to-do list. I need to let them out later today. The rabbits anyway, not the hamster. But that is quite a bit more I need to do in my days. And if the weather's alright later when I let them out, if I let them out anyway, because the weather might be bad. But if I let them out later and the weather's decent, I might bring you along with me. Daisy. Okay. Okay, so I had this theory that since I have to sit outside with the rabbits for 2 hours a day, I could get quite a bit of reading done. I've just done my first hour out there, and let me tell you, I read 5 pages. Because these rabbits, right, when you give them food, they're fine, but as soon as they don't have a bit of food, they come for you. Like, they try and eat your pants, they try and eat your socks, they do everything. So I'm not feeling too optimistic about how much reading I'm going to get done out there, but it's alright because they're cute. So for the past 4 days, I've been writing consistently about 1,000 words, which is what I need to be on track for finishing my manuscript by that October deadline. And the words have been coming relatively easily, but today they're not. It's 10:15 at night and I'm sitting at 274 words. I don't know if it's because this is a very talky scene and there's not a whole lot happening, but it's just feeling like I'm trying to drag the words out. And it's a lot of revealing information, and I'm trying to do that in a way that doesn't seem force-fed. Like, I'm trying to, and also it's a kind of reveal, so I don't want things to seem like they've just been forced together or that it's a sort of leap of logic. Because obviously I know the reveal in my head, but I need the characters to get to that conclusion in a logical way, rather than them just plucking the answer out of the air sort of thing. So I'm trying to work that in and make it sound natural in their speech, but it's proving a little bit hard to do that and keep the scene interesting at the same time. So I'm working on that right now. I might just skip to another scene. I've been trying to write this consecutively, but there are a few other scenes that I've started, so I might jump to them to get the words in, and then come back to this scene tomorrow with a fresh mind. Okay, it's now 11:30 and I've finally done it. I had to split the 1,000 words between 3 scenes, but I got there in the end. So I think I wrote about 300 words on the scene that I was meant to do in the first place. Then I wrote about 200 words in a scene much later in the novel that it was pretty easy to do because it was very high stakes. And then the rest of those words I did in a scene that's sort of 2 chapters ahead of where I'm meant to be right now. So it's not ideal, but I'd rather that than not write anything at all. Okay, I'm back home now. My camera actually died while I was at the coffee shop, so the time lapse ended up being like 3 seconds or something. But I passed my theory test first time. I'm really happy with how it went. I only got 1 question wrong out of the 50, so that's a pretty strong pass. I mean, it is quite easy if you've read the book sort of thing. Like, it's multiple choice and there's a lot of common sense to it, so I am happy that I passed, because the hazard perception where you've got to pick out the hazards, that was the bit I thought was going to get me, but I got through it. While I was out, I also went to Costa with my friend Catherine, which you will have seen a little bit of. But I actually got some books for next year's modules as well, so I'll show you a couple of the ones that we're doing for the Victorians module. And this module is called Victorian Passions, and I'm hoping there's not too much sex in it, because like I don't enjoy reading about sex that much. I mean, I'm not against it necessarily, but the extent to which university seems to force it into books and into modules is a bit much. But the 2 that I bought, because they have an offer at Blackwell's, our university bookshop, where if you get 2 Oxford World Classics, you can get the second one for free. So I got the 2 books from my reading list that I could not find at the library. So I did get one from the library, and this is She by H. Rider Haggard. Don't know too much about this one, but it is more fantasy based than the rest, so I am a bit more excited for that one. And then the 2 that I actually bought are The Jungle Books by Rudyard Kipling. I didn't actually realise that there are 2 Jungle Books, so this one has both of them in. And then also Tess of the D'Urbervilles. I've never read this, even though pretty much everybody loves it. So yeah, those are the books I bought, and then while I was at the coffee shop, I managed to write 700 words. So I'm most of the way to my daily goal already. I would like to try and write 2,000 words today though, and it's only 3 o'clock, so it's very, very achievable. Okay, so granted, I have only read the first 7 pages, but I think I'm probably going to like Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Going into this, I had no idea at all what it's about, and then I read the blurb, and it does actually sound quite interesting. And also, I'm just not a fan of old books in general because of the writing style that I often find in them. It's very dry and sort of all around about. Like, they often take a long way of explaining a really simple thing, and that just gets on my nerves so much. So I do find it hard to find a writing style in sort of classical fiction that I can actually click with. And this is actually sort of halfway there. Like, it is kind of a little bit old, like the Austen type stuff, but at the same time it feels a lot more direct, and I really enjoy that. So I do think this is something that I will be able to get through relatively fast without having to spend like half an hour on each page, and that can only be a good thing. Okay, so every day for pretty much the past week, I have been able to write 1,000 words per day, and I've been so happy with that because it's felt consistent. And even though some days it was easier than other days, I was glad that I had that solid 1,000 words. Today hasn't gone exactly to plan. I started writing a lot later than I should have, and also I'm just not feeling motivated at the minute. Not for any particular reason, it's just one of those days where I don't really want to write that much. So I am lowering my word count goal for today, and I'm lowering it to 500 words. Currently 1 minute past 11 at night, and I'm sitting at 237 for the day. So as soon as I've done that, I think I'm going to switch over to reading Tess and then get to bed before midnight because I'm at work tomorrow. Okay, this isn't a writing update, but I just had to drop in and say that I just watched To All the Boys I Loved Before on Netflix, and I absolutely loved it. It's definitely my favourite movie of 2018 so far. I have read the first book. I read this book in Booktubeathon of 2016, I believe, and I did really enjoy it, but I just never picked up the other 2. I've now ordered them because I just want to see how it continues. And what I did find with the movie is that it took the parts that I loved about the book, but then it also took away the parts that kind of got on my nerves in the book, like the way that Laura Jean was sort of babified in the novel, like with the way she talked about her parents and stuff. That kind of made me feel a little bit weird when I was reading it because I just couldn't relate to it in that way. But in the movie they've changed that Not really too noticeably, but in a way that it makes me much more comfortable with Lara Jean as she is on the TV. So I'm going to rewatch it now because I absolutely loved it and I can't wait for the other two to arrive. Okay, so after that week of great progress, I have hit a wall. And it's really odd because I know what I need to write and I know not how to write those scenes, but I know what I want to happen in those scenes. But yesterday I only ended up writing just over 100 words. And then the day before, like I said, I only wrote about 500. And I haven't written anything today and I don't know if I'm going to. So it's not doing too great. I am going to try and write today, but I really want to finish watching the Frankenstein Chronicles. So I am going to put that first just because I really want to see what happens. But if I get any more time after that, before I get too sleepy, I will work on the Never Curse. Okay, I got really tired last night, so the plan for today is finish the Frankenstein Chronicles, or at least the first series, because I've got one episode left and then I'm done with that series and I'll know what happens. Apart from that, I want to go into town because I need to sell some of my course books from last year back to Blackwell's, and hopefully that should pay for some of this year's course books. And then apart from that, I want to go to Costa and try and write 2,000 words. Maybe not all at Costa, but over the course of the day, I want to hit 2,000. 1,000 of which I would like to be at the coffee shop. Okay, so I am just about to head out to the coffee shop and to the bookshop, so apart from the mini montage that I might do if it's not too busy in there, that is the end of this vlog. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. I feel like it has been a lot more talky than my usual vlogs, but I hope you liked it anyway. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.